When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.
Hello and welcome to another Muga Patreon exclusive. This is a top 30 episode. I don't think we've done one of these in a few months. I think that the usual guys are kind of getting bored with the Steve Bruce's, Darren Fletcher's, Owen Hargreaves, etc., etc. So I had to bring in two brothers, two loyal United fans to keep it going with me. I got Alex. How you doing, Alex?
Come on, bro. You're right. Come on, man.
I'm good. It's been a while, man. How you been?
Not bad. Muga
Busy
Mafia,
man.
you know
Yeah. Busy man.
you know
I see
how
that.
that
You're
goes.
everywhere, man.
I'm everywhere. You know, global, baby. We created this.
Rob, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Just out here surviving
What
in
can you
these
do,
lockdown
man?
streets, bruv.
Yeah, I think we were all discussing before we started the lack of trims going around, man. You did
Trust
them all a
me.
favor. You did them all a favor and put a hat on. I should really wear my hoodie, but I'm not trying to contribute to the narrative going around these days. So I'll just have to firm this one. So yeah, it's another top 30 episode. I know you guys love these so much. We're down to our top 13. So I promise you, we're starting to get to the players that you guys actually recognize and the players that you guys actually like. So I'll kick it off. Just start off with number 13. Edwin van der Sar. So we signed him in 2005. He was a £2 million signing from Fulham. Not sure what he was even doing there, keeper of his caliber. He stayed with us for 6 seasons, played 266 games. He won the Prem 3 times, won the League Cup, won the Champions League once, and he won the FIFA Club World Cup as well. So I'll start with you, Rob, since you're the guest. This is your first time. Hopefully not your last time on one of our pods. 2 million from Fulham. Was he value for money?
Definitely value for money. You know, to get a good keeper is very, very difficult, you know. So Van der Sar, as you said, I don't know what he was doing at Fulham. And he was established in the Premier League. A lot of people say, are they Premier League proven, whatnot. So for 2 million, I think that's a bargain, if you ask me.
Yeah, facts. How about you, Alex?
Yeah, bargain. You said he won it 3 times. He won it 4 actually. So he's actually, yeah. How can you get a keeper for 2 million and he wins 4 Premier League titles with you? That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
sorry, I even missed out the 10-11 title. Yeah, he did win it 4 times. My bad. Yeah,
I think that was his last season.
It was his last season. Yeah. So he won 4 titles. Cool. I did require you guys to do a bit of research, so I'm going to find out how deep you dug. What did you have as his best moment, Alex?
For me, because the nostalgia hit me. As soon as I read the question, I said, what moment did I think, Van der Sar, I love you? 2008, Chelsea, Champions League final, when he saved the penalty.
Yeah.
He saved the penalty, and I said, oh my God, I love you. Like, to me, yeah, he was like 2008, yeah, he was still a bit fit. It was still good. But like, I was thinking to myself around them times, I thought we were going to lose that final. I thought when we hit the penalties, I thought Ronaldo's missed. Yeah, we're done. Champions League final 2008. Yeah, that was his best moment for me.
Certain players, that their best moment just stands out. So I wouldn't be surprised if you had the same moment, Rob. But what did you have down as your best Van der Sar moment?
Yeah, I think it's hard to see past that moment, you know.
Yeah.
Champions League final, you know, the crucial moments, the clutch moments. These are the sort of things that you're going to be remembered for. And especially as a keeper, you know, once you save a penalty, normal, it's already a mad thing. But to do it in the Champions League final, the winning penalty as well, you know. So it's not like it wasn't one before. That I can imagine the pressure on it. And I always just have in my mind that like video of him and his lanky arm just waving like that. He was happy. He was happy. So yeah, it's hard to see past that moment, man. Definitely.
You know, with that finalist, and I always end up telling this story 1 month or another. I remember I watched it with my family, and when we got to penalties, my aunt was there, and as Ronaldo was going up, she's like, he looks like he's gonna miss. And I was, that's Ronaldo. What are you talking about, man? Then he missed. And I was looking at her like, you're doing a lot. And then Terry goes up, and then she goes, yeah, this John Terry looks like he's gonna miss. And then he missed. And then she was back in my good graces. I'm like, yeah. You see, like, you got a bit of a touch on it. And then she wasn't saying anything. Then she saw Anelka going up, and she was like, yeah, he's not gonna score. And he missed. Van der Sar saved it. You saw the way I ran over to her and jumped on. When she dropped the Ronaldo one, I was ready to. You know, you just penalties are just like my word, man. And it's Ronaldo. Ronaldo don't miss, man. Especially Ronaldo around them times. So that was my memory of it and of Van der Sar. What did you guys have as his worst moment? I think this one's a bit harder because when I think back on Van der Sar's time, I don't really ever remember him making any gaffes or any time that I'm probably like, oh, Van der Sar, man, what were you doing? But interested to hear what you guys had, if anything. What did you have as his worst moment, Rob?
I think for his worst moment, it's quite hard to pick, but I can pick like a personal one for me.
Yeah.
Do you remember that header that Messi scored against him? It was Champions League. I can't remember what year it was.
The final, that was 2009.
2009, yeah, Champions League final.
And he took off his boot.
And he took off his boot. That's the one. It just, I think because of the emotion of it, I remember watching it. I was on a church weekend away somewhere. The way I wanted to cuss when that one went in, because Messi has no right. He has no right to be in the
I was more vexed at Rio, you know. How you letting mine?
No, do you know what it is? Like, it's the defender's fault, yeah. But you know when Van der Sar's your superhero and you think, if anything, Van der Sar can save us. You know, but Messi to score a header like that, it's a bit harsh to say it's his worst moment, but it's just a personal one where
it's difficult. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was crushed personally at that time. Obviously, he ain't had many bad moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. How about you, Alex?
I can't lie. I didn't really. Around those times, I was watching football heavy, and Van der Sar to me was just. I was just like, fam, he's just the Flying Dutchman. Like he just is what he is. I can't. He didn't give me a sick feeling in my stomach. So like, I don't really have
I can relate to that feeling right now in terms.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? The sickening feeling you get in your gut. Like I didn't have that with Van der Sar, so I appreciated him, and I'm gonna stay appreciating him.
Yeah, I think now you mention it, Rob. The moment that came up for me was the 2011 final. You know that shot Messi had. The shot
from
I remember
that.
They battered us that game, no doubt. They would have they could have scored like 5 or 6, but that specific shot, I felt like he didn't do as well with it as he possibly could have. But obviously by that time he was like 41 or so, so really he was on his last legs. But if I think of a worst moment, that's the one. Other than that, nothing else really comes to mind. It may just be because it was so long ago. And you know, when you think back of players in the past, you only remember like the good things. You don't remember the times they fucked you over. But from my memory, I don't remember any other real standout worst moments from him. Next one I've got is workhorse or sauce. So this is basically me asking you guys if you think the player was a bit of a grafter, or if you thought they had a bit of je ne sais quoi, a bit of style, a bit of flair to them. It's hard with a keeper. But I've got my shout. I'll let you guys give me yours, and I'll tell you what I think. I'll go with you this time, Alex. Workhorse or sauce for Edwin van der Sar?
I'm going sauce, you know, because I'm going sauce because he made the job look easy. He was composed. He could play with his feet. He was like, obviously keepers are meant to be tall, but he wasn't like your most aesthetically pleasing kind of guy like Edison and them man, Allison, and you see all them man. He's not that, but he was competent and he made goalkeeping look fashionable. And yeah, if people said Edwin van der Sar made me want to be a goalie, I hear it. He was swaggy with it, I think.
I hear you. What about you, Rob? What were you saying? Workhorse or sauce?
I think I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum because you can tell goalkeeping was his job. Like, I'm in the squad to goalkeep. Don't talk to me about nothing else. Whereas with these modern day keepers, like David De Gea, he looks like he's a keeper, but he could be doing a Tommy Hilfiger shoot tomorrow, sort of thing. So that's what I would say. Tools is, like Edison and that man. I don't know if he's gonna launch his singing career after this. Whereas Van der Sar, he does what he says on the tin. But I hear what Alex is saying in terms of it was just so natural and so easy. It didn't look like work to him. But I don't think he had a flair to him like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you. I had him down as saucy, mainly for the fact that he's one of the main keepers I think of when we think about keepers being able to distribute from the back. And we see now, like, he was almost ahead of his time. We see how key to the game it is. Like, obviously, Barca brought it along with Pep, and then you make your keeper like an extra player. Your guys get to push up and your keeper distributes. But we had Van der Sar popping it around 10 10, 15 years ago. So I'll give him sauce for that. And the last one, which I think, again, I know the answer to, right place, right time. So that's if you see the player fitting in or getting into the current team. Rob, would Van der Sar get into the current Manchester United team?
I think so, you know. I think he'll get into the current Man United team 100%. Because man didn't do no dipper form random. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Consistency.
We're not
consistent.
throwing no shade there, but you know.
No
Yeah,
shade.
no shade. Because my guy David, he's doing his thing right now. I don't want no negative energy. Bad energy, stay far away from David right now. You know, but
Yeah.
Van der Sar, he's the original man. Like, man, compare him to Peter Schmeichel and that. Do you know what I mean? That's big names to beat him in the regards in that in the realms of. So I'll say he definitely gets into the team now.
Alex, I don't imagine you'd say any different. Does he get into the current team?
Oh no, 100%, 100%, 100%. Someone with that many accolades and his kind of stature in the game, and just what he's able to bring, his knowledge of the game as well, you can see was evident. Yeah, man, I'm with you all the way.
Yeah, I'm with you guys as well. Van der Sar, between the sticks, was even up until his last days, he was just assured and he just felt confident. Distributing was never De Gea's strongest attribute, in all fairness. So yeah, if I had to put him in the team, now gets in with ease. We'll go on to number 12. I love this game. Patrice, Uncle Evra. Cool. Let me give you guys a tail of the tape. He was actually a January signing. We signed him for 5.5 million from Monaco, January 2006. He played with us for 9 years, 379 appearances, scored 10 goals. He won the Premier League 5 times, won the League Cup 3 times, won the Champions League once, and won the FIFA Club World Cup once. Rob, value for money.
100%. Again, 5.5 million. I wonder what that translates to today, because buying an Evra today, you're looking at racks, you know.
Yeah.
100% value for money. And he grew into that left back position, you know. I think he was like the second French player to captain the side along the way as well. So 100% value for money.
How about you, Alex? Value for money?
Yeah. Value for money, because it's not like he was a scrub at Monaco. He was living life. He had won a trophy at least. So it was like
he was I think he was in the team that got to the Champions League semi-final as well.
Semi-final as well, yeah. Actually, you're right. So yeah, we bought a fresh Patrice Evra. A raw Patrice Evra. So yeah.
Cool. I don't know if you lot remember his debut. He was awful. I think it was against Man City. They were like, what are they done with these January signings? Where did they get these guys from? And that was him, because we got him and Vidic in January. And they just quietly went about their business, I think, for that half of the season. And then from the start of the next season, they just kicked on. And yeah, he's been a fan favourite, to be honest. What do you not have as your best moment for Uncle Evra?
Uncle Pat. I sort of have 2.
Okay.
One against more personal, like, yeah. I'll give. Let me give you 2 for this one.
Yeah.
Of course, that goal against Bayern. Yeah.
Wait, I'll tell you the story after.
Yeah.
Who does he think he is?
Yeah.
You know
Same. I got a story about that as well.
Who does he think that he is? Just coming onto the ball, just like that. Like, that has to be one of his best moments. And it's almost hard for defenders, because it's hard to remember, that last ditch tackle, you know? Like, remember Eric Bailly this year? I forgot what team it was when he did that last minute tackle. Against Villa. We're not really going to remember that in 10 years' time. So it's very hard with defenders. But you do remember the goal. So that's one. And then a personal favourite of mine, which is a bit cheeky, maybe it shouldn't be, but when he's celebrating above Suarez and that, after that whole...
but we support that, bro. We support that.
You know what I mean? Just going through that whole thing, seeing the environment at that time, and like, I feel like he deserved that. Just walking off with the crowd, and I'm happy that Suarez was right next to him to take that in as well. So those are my 2 personal favourites, man.
You look like you're about to say something evil, Alex. What's your best moment? What's your best moment, Alex?
What, can you hear me? Can you see me? Yeah.
Yeah, we can see you. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. My best moment for Pat, I can't lie to you, just like Rob, it was definitely the goal against Bayern because I was at a party. I was at a house party, and we were all watching the game, and obviously we were under Moyes, and I thought, yeah, we're in a mud, we're gonna lose, and then Pat scores, yeah, and then we go crazy. We run into the road, we start screaming. Ah! I'm telling you, Morayo, no sooner did we put our bum on the seat. I think it was Robin or Ribery that equalized. If you could see our faces, yeah, it was like someone had died in our midst. Like it was like, whoa. So yeah, that was definitely. But for me, yeah, that was amazing.
I remember because that team wasn't good. But we managed to bag the goal. I remember my friends back then had just like moved back. They were the first ones to get their own place, so we all got to their house to watch it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Man United, don't fuck with us. This is what we're on. Don't rap. And then as we're celebrating, like jumping up and down, like you look, and then it's like, what? What's good? And then one of my boys who support Arsenal was like, the way I've sat down, man, I felt like I've been kicked in the balls, bro. It was absolutely nuts. You didn't even get a chance to marinate on it. You didn't even get a chance to marinate on it before they took that away from us. What? You sounded like you're going to say another moment, Alex.
Yeah, I was. And again, it's going to sound like I'm copying Rob, but you see when Evra celebrating in front of Suarez, kicking racism out of football?
Literally.
Yeah, that was... literally.
That was important because
man, I'm with that.
I remember the whole rigmarole around that whole period and everything the Liverpool guys did as well. Remember they had the t-shirts supporting
it,
acting like
the t-shirts.
Alex, you're killing me because your thing's lagging. So like you're hearing it on your end, and then you're coming through like mad slow. So yeah, the t-shirts they were supporting him heavy. And then we had to deal with them. We had to deal with Suarez, and we kicked him out of the Prem as well, man. What would you guys have as his worst moment? I know one. Will you guys go first? Because now I'm thinking about it, I'm getting angry again. Go on.
Oh, so for Evra's worst moment, yeah, again, I got two. One of them is funny. First of all, I think your debut against Man City, getting subbed at half-time, no matter what the circumstances is, that has to be one of the worst moments in your Man United career. You know what I mean? Because that's there in history. It's written down sort of thing. So that definitely has to be one of them. But one of my worst moments for Evra, because I liked him on the pitch, it has to be some of his punditry. Throwing it back like to today. How can you say Zaha did a thing with my man's daughter or whatnot? You can't, bro.
I haven't seen him since. I have not seen him.
Yeah,
since. I've seen him once. He's been on once.
Yeah, and he's just mad emotional when he's on. Like punditry, you got to have a certain level of you're delivering the TV. Yeah, you know what I mean. But at the same time, I love this game and we love him for it.
What about you, Alex? What was your worst Patrice ever moment?
For me, I didn't really. Again, he was like Van der Sar for me. I loved him when he was a player. I would say he just had like a few games where he wasn't the best, but everyone has those games. Again, yeah, I don't really have many negative worst moments for Evra. I personally.
Cool. The thing is, when we look back at those times of success with nostalgia, they're like all heroes. So I'm going to remind you of a couple, yeah?
Go on.
The first one, we ended up winning the game. So in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't too bad. It was the game we played against Spurs where we went 2-0 down. Aaron Lennon tore him an absolute new one. Aaron Lennon tore him an absolute new one. And obviously we came back. Then the other one was the 4-4 against Everton. I forget who it was. It was someone basic like Naismith or Hibbert, one of these basic like Benjamin English players, yeah? Absolutely destroyed Evra that day. I don't know if you don't remember that game. We were 3-1 up, then they made it 3-2. Then we made it 4-2.
Wait, last game of the season?
No, it wasn't the last game of the season. It was the season that...
Phil Neville was playing, right?
Nah, it was after that. It was the season where City won it on goal difference. So basically, It comes down to that game.
the year they threw
That
away the
game.
title.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
3-1 up. Then it went 3-2. Then we made it 4-2. There, I forget, was it Hibbert? Was it Naismith? It was one of their guys on the right-hand side. Completely ripped him to shreds that game. And that is where we lost. That's where we lost the title. So I've got to put that on Uncle Evra's head. Sorry. So
Yeah,
those two games. So obviously the Spurs one was a precursor. That necessarily, he wasn't always the best defensively. Really good going forward, but at times he could be found out. And one time it didn't cost us, and then the second time, I know, because we actually went on to like lose to Wigan. We played against City. They beat us 1-0. Company scored that header, but we didn't even really try that game. So obviously we had so many other opportunities to actually not lose the title on goal difference. But when you look at where we directly lost points, where we shouldn't have lost, I look at that game. Cool. Workhorse or sauce for Uncle Evra, Alex?
Workhorse, man. What sauce did that guy have? He was a robot. He was literally like a robot at left back. I still remember him now. He would receive the ball, pam, and then turn his body. I still remember because he was nippy and that, and so he got away with it. I'm telling you, he was like a bit of a more mature Wan-Bissaka in terms of.
Don't you dare! Don't you?
No, wait.
I'm gonna send you highlights. No.
No. I know what I'm trying to say. Like, everyone wasn't saucy at all. No flair.
Yeah, but don't mention that Wan-Bissaka.
Hey, I don't know about you. I love Wan-Bissaka, bro. I think he's got his own style, bro.
We'll get you on another episode. We'll break down exactly what you're looking at, bro. Because I need to know, man. Rob, did you have him as a workhorse or sauce? Uncle Evra.
He was a workhorse. He got up and down that left wing, man. Like that left back position, overlapping. He'll put crosses in and stuff. Did I think he had flair like some of these other man? Not really, but he done the job as well.
In my head, I remember him as having a bit more sauce. He could carry it. He didn't get stuck in. He wasn't necessarily the best defensively. I used to lie to myself that he was worrying Ashley Cole because, you know, Arsenal fans were always our ops. So if we had a player that was comparable in level, you had to put him up against an Arsenal player. Then he went to Chelsea, and then we had to keep that going. So in my mind, I remember him being saucy and being good going forward. But I'll be happy to be corrected in the comments or whatever. And finally, right place, right time. So obviously we're all watching the Luke Shaw remontada live in the flesh. Does Uncle Evra get into the current Manchester United team, Alex?
Yes, because he would be the best going forward and the best going back out of the current bunch.
Okay. How about you, Rob? You put him in the current team?
Defensively, there's an argument to be had with Luke Shaw, if that makes sense.
Agreed.
Because remember, Evra played on a solid back line as well. So Luke Shaw doesn't have all the tools that Evra had next to him. So defensively, there's a big argument for it. Vidic and Rio, they're going to make whoever is next to them. Put Wan-Bissaka next to Vidic and Rio, we'll see.
He's Ricardo Pereira, bro. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And I think we're just seeing the emergence of Luke Shaw again that we've been waiting for years. So it's even too early to just give it to him straight away. So I'm going to say Evra gets into the team.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, I won't let recency bias. To be honest, I don't even believe in this Luke Shaw. I need to see it for a whole season before I even all right, cool, you've arrived, innit? Because you've been here about 6 years already. He's still only 25, funnily enough. But he's had these kind of occasions before where he's played well for a bit. Fans have been like, oh, we told you, Luke Shaw. Then he goes back down to what he considers to be his normal level. So I just wait and keep it loaded. And we'll see if he's able to prove us wrong and actually end up being worth the enormous amount of money we paid for him. Cool. And our final player, number 11, is Goal King Cole, Andy Cole. So we signed him from Newcastle, January 1995. He was between £6 and £7 million cash, plus Keith Gillespie went the other way. He was rated at like a £1 million player. So that was seen as a British record transfer fee at the time. He played 275 games for us. He scored 121 goals. He won the Premier League 5 times. He won the FA Cup twice. He won the Champions League once. Rob, value for money.
Big time value for money. It was the English Premier League record at the time, innit?
The British,
7 million.
yeah, it's British.
The British
Crazy.
record.
It's crazy. Yeah, and they took him from Newcastle as well, and
We
Newcastle
were
were kind of flying at that
rivals.
time.
Yeah, they were
After
rivals.
Rivals
after
so
one season,
Yeah.
not even
it
a
was
season. It was just
timing.
like 7 months, 8 months. It was weird.
No,
It's
because
crazy.
you know what? He scored 34 in 40 in the 93-94 season. Then he scored
Yeah.
9 in 18 in the 94-95 season up to then. And then we bagged him. So it's like, okay, now you scored like 43 league goals in a year and a half. Like we've seen enough. Like 43 league goals in 58 games. We're going to bring you over to our sides. And yeah, he scored 12 in 18 for us in that first half of the season. So
in that first little period.
So yeah,
I'll say value for money for sure.
yeah, facts. Alex?
Yeah, value for money. This is a man that scored endless goals. He was nearly 1-2 in his record, like 414 games, 187 goals. His partnership with Dwight York was amazing feat.
Iconic, man.
It was just meant to be. Do you get it? Like it was just Batman and Robin, everything it needed to be. So yeah, value for money, 6 million. Yeah, come on.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that. I'm gonna have to change that to a new topic because now we're getting to the top 10. All these guys are value for money. But like when you're like doing it at like 30, 29, 28, he wasn't value for money still. So I'm gonna have to come up with a new one. What do you feel is his best moment, Alex?
I'll say his best moment. Do you know what? I'm gonna put his best moment as the Dwight York partnership and winning trophies with us. So like, I'm gonna put his best moment in his Man United career. Yeah. So like, before he went off, I feel like that partnership again was the inspiration for many a man to support Manchester United, to play football, to be proud to be black. I'm gonna say it like it was a thing that was probably one of the most iconic partnerships football has ever seen. And to do the treble the way he did as well with the team they had, obviously it was a great team. Man United always had money, but like how do I put it? The willingness to want to be a winner. These lot were winners. Like, so yeah, 100%. I would say just the whole thing. Yeah.
Cool. What would you have as his best moment, Rob?
Yeah, I was literally gonna say the same with the Dwight York partnership, because as we've said, it's iconic. It's something that we can all look to and be like, yeah, I wanted to be like those guys. It just seemed like, you know, when you're younger, you don't really know how the world works, how football works. It seems like they lived at home. They were brothers, or, you know, the ones with, oh yeah, that's my cousin. My cousin, you know, even family related and stuff. They just had that synergy. But obviously, we just seen the 9-0 as well. You got to, if you remember back, if you're like,
they won 9-0 as well, didn't they? Yeah,
and he bagged like 5 goals or something. That's what they're saying. There's one chip that I remember from looking back. I always remember that goal against Barcelona when he let it run, and then
him and Dwight York. Yeah. That was up there. That was up there, definitely.
And then one thing with Cole as well is there was always a lot of competition when he was in and around the squad. Like, you got to look at the lights that he had to fight off. The Cantona early, then you had Sheringham, Solskjaer, Dwight York, and then Van Nistelrooy coming in there as well. So it weren't easy for him.
Definitely. What would you have as his worst moment? You just mentioned it. For me, it was how he ended up leaving. Like you said, it seemed like Van Nistelrooy was eventually the nail in the coffin. Fergie got a shiny new toy, and Van Nistelrooy could bag with the best of them, man. So I get it. But the way he left the club, it wasn't nice. And yeah, seeing him go on to play for City as well, that kind of robbed me. I cared about those things more so when I was a kid than now when I was like, it's just business, man. Like, they get rid of him. He's got a family to feed, you know? But back then, it definitely hurt. So for me, it was how he left and seeing him go on to join City. That was probably his worst moment for me. Rob, what did you have as his worst moment?
Yeah, I think it has to be seeing him play for City, because in that moment, every kid's dreams are sort of shattered in terms of you're United through and through. To see him go play for City, it's a bit mad. So I think we have to put that down there. But to see how we still respect him so much is really word to the man, you know.
And he's still connected with the club. It means a lot, man.
Yeah.
I think is he third all-time Premier League scorers? I think he took 1 pen. Like all the other guys you've seen around him score 30, 40 pens. Took 1 pen in his whole career, man. How about you, Alex? What did you have as his worst moment?
I had his worst moment as, I'll be real, his career after Man United just kind of.
Where'd you go from the best?
I'll speak to his
Where'd
longevity.
Where'd you go from the best, bro?
I know, but his longevity wasn't that of a great striker as he was. Do you get what I'm saying? He was great. So like I think after his Man United stint and Newcastle stint, I feel like he was just a bit dry, and I feel like that is a bit sad. That's sad.
Yeah. Workhorse or sauce? What did you have for Gold King Cole?
Both.
No sauce. You work with both. Yeah, I say original sauce. We call Greenwood Gunwood. Actually, Andy Cole must have been a skeng man, bruv.
Skeng man. Skeng daddy. Skeng daddy.
You know what I mean? Skeng daddy. So he works very hard. Don't get me wrong, but he's doing stuff that I don't see a lot of strikers do today.
Yeah. People always forget as well that he started out at Arsenal. And they got rid, and he had to graft his way back up. So you always have that chip on your shoulder, man. Especially when you're at a big club. You know how it is with these players, man. Like a lot of the time when they're at that big club, they already think they've made it. And then to get that realization, actually, nah, bro, go back up. But then he showed that spirit and he showed that heart and that hustle to bring himself back up. And look at his trophies. Trophy cabinet speaks for itself, man. His goal record speaks for itself. In terms of that, I thought he was underrated in terms of source. I loved how he linked up with Dwight York. And they always talk about that game against Juventus where we came back, and they talk about Roy Keane was so good. During the summer when we were on lockdown and like there was no football, so we were having to come up with all sorts of content. We were watching like old games, like old classic games, and talking about them. And we watched that one. And when I watched that game back, it was him and Dwight who absolutely dusted Juventus. They were like footballers from like the future, almost, like in terms of like their physical capacity. The defenders could not deal with them, man. They were too quick, too strong, too techie. The guys were just chasing shadows, man. That was probably one of his best moments, that performance in Turin. And definitely I'd say that he had sauce as well. And again, Alex, I think I know your answer for this one. Right place, right time. How would he fit in with the current Manchester United team? Do we need a striker? What would you have for him there, Alex? I think he can't hear me.
Yeah,
I feel.
There we go.
There we
go. Hear me?
Now we can. Yeah, don't worry. I'll edit these parts out. Don't you worry about it, sweetheart. Alex? Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you now.
Yeah?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Live. We live. Cool. Quickly, before the connection goes again, I don't know why it's struggling. But my point is, how would he fit in with the current crop? He's taking Martial out of the team. Martial's on the bench, back to France. Yeah. Martial, I mean, it's going to be 100% he starts every game. His link up with Rashford will be crazy. Oh, yeah. 100%. 100% that man starts. As in, I'm crying for it.
Oh, and Rob, what are you saying? Right place, right time. Does he start in the current team?
I think he 100% starts as well. If Cavani can start, then Andy Cole can start. And I feel like we look at Martial and Rashford like, come on, man, look at you and Cole, what they were doing. And we look at them, but maybe it's just not adapting. So I think Andy Cole definitely starts in this team. If Cavani can lead the line, Andy Cole can do it.
That's like what we're crying out for now, because what you see it with Spurs, you see it with teams all over the world. Sometimes when you're not playing well, a top gunman just bags you a goal. Goal. And we don't have that. We actually have to graft for all our goals. Obviously, we've got that guy, Bruno Fernandes. Don't really want to talk about him too much. You know how I feel about him, Alex. We've got Bruno Fernandes who chips in with goals for us.
Yeah. Come on, man.
We're screaming out for a goal scorer like Andy Cole. So there we have it. 13th, Edwin van der Sar. 12th, Patrice Evra. 11th, Andy Cole. Guys, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You don't know how long I've been trying to get this particular episode. every time I give the names, or to be fair, I had to skip out Gary Neville and Dennis Irwin. I think you lot would have ducked me too if I gave you.
Yeah.
So,
Dead names.
I had to skip out a couple of names, but I appreciate you both for coming on. Always a pleasure.
Bro.
Rob, always welcome on. Just give me a bell, and yeah, we'll get you on. Alex,
Yeah, this is my debut in that. Thank you for having
listen,
me.
man, the beginning of a long, successful career with the Muga Mafia, man. Hopefully, we're celebrating 21 in the summer. We'll definitely have you on for that one. Alex, love you, baby. All right, boys.
Come on, bro.
Peace.
When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.